How's it going, everyone? I'm Max and welcome back to the channel, and a happy new year to you all as well. I'm sorry that there was no post or kind of lack of post last week. I was just taking a little break away, spent some time with the family over the festive period, but we're back with the bangers. Today, I'm trying something new. I'm going to be doing a ways to consume tier list. So this can be all different ways to consume, whether it be edibles, vaporizing, combusting. I'm going to go through all the different types that I've tried and rank them from S, A, B, C, and D. Obviously, S being the best and D being the worst. Let's get right into it, and I hope you enjoy. So, here we have all the different ways that I've gotten high. This is completely my opinion as well. You obviously might have your own opinions and your own different ratings. If I remember, I'll leave this in the description for all of you to go try out. Fill it in yourself. Tag me on Twitter at ZooeySmokes or even on Instagram with the same handle. I'll check it out and see your preferred ways of smoking. We're going to start off here with contact high. Now, only the minority of people get high like this, and it's usually people that don't really smoke or aren't around weed very much. So when you're in the same room and you're hotboxing it out, or maybe you're in your car smoking along, and that one homie that doesn't smoke, they'll still get high from all the fumes and all the smoke going around. Whilst it might not be much for people like me and you, for people that don't smoke at all, that can obviously go into their system and get them feeling a bit high. So I'm going to place that at a C tier to begin. It's also a great way if you don't really like the taste of weed, like I know some of my buddies don't, and they can still enjoy and have a good sesh and even get high without even smoking anything. So that's why it's not going on a D tier, because I think it's such a cool way to get high without actually having to smoke or consume anything. Next up, we've got a Volcano Vaporizer. Now, I've only tried this thing once or twice, but I've got to say, it is pretty cool. It doesn't leave that sort of metallic-y flavouring on your mouth, like I've found a lot of other dry herb vaporizers do. And all in all, it's just a pretty sick device. It's also really good for conserving your weed as well. You can throw like a point 0.1 in this and get a good few bags and be relatively high off just a point 0.1 of some flour, which is, to me, crazy. And because of that, I'm going to place it at B tier. I'd like to try Volcano again at some point, because it has been quite some time since I've used it. So who knows, I might do a video on it at one point. I just got to get my hands because they are mega expensive as well. These can go anywhere from like £150 all the way up to £300 from what I've seen. And that's why it gets a B tier. Next up, we have blunts, backwoods, swishers, whatever you want to call them. I'm going to rank these all in the same category as their blunt papers. Now, I'm not a regular blunt smoker at all, but I do love a blunt on special occasions or just every now and then. I definitely feel like it can mask the flavour of your terpenes a lot when smoking through a blunt, especially if you're using like a flavoured wrap, like a Swisher's banana or a Russian cream, you know. But I do enjoy blunts, and because they're a special occasion thing, I'm going to pop them here at A tier. As well as that, in my opinion, they're really cool to just pass around the sesh. You know, if you got a nice big blunt rolled up, pass it around, everyone can get a few hits. The only downside to using them, from what I found, is they do require obviously a lot more bud than if you were to roll a joint or even use the vaporizer. But for those nice pearled blunts that are rolled so perfectly, I think they're really cool. Up next, we've got edibles. Just like blunts, I don't take edibles very often, but when I do, they always hit so hard. Like, because it digests through your system differently and it stays in your system so much longer, I think they're just one of the most elite ways to get high. You can spend all day just off your face on edibles without having to smoke or anything, just because of the amount of like THC that you can cram into one bit of gummies, cookies, brownies, whatever you make it with. I've tried making edibles a few times myself, and it is a painstaking process, especially decarbing all the bud, then making it into butter, which takes like hours, but the end result's always worth it and always guaranteed to get you high. And because of that, I'm going to place this way of consuming an S tier. Of course, you can find edibles that just don't hit, or maybe they lie in the packaging about the strength, but a lot of the edibles that I get are from family and friends, and a lot of the time they are really, really good. Up next, we've got a Dynavap, and I'm just going to class all dry herb vaporizers under this same category. I've not had the chance to try a lot, to be honest. I've tried the Dynavap, I have tried an electric dry herb vaporizer as well, and honestly, I'm not a huge fan. As I said before, they leave sort of a metallic-y taste in my mouth. I don't really know how to explain it, but when using a dry herb vaporizer, especially one made out of metal, it just kind of lingers, and every time you take a hit, you've sort of got that exhale of that metallic-y flavour, which is not something that I'm a fan of personally, and because of that, it's going in D tier. Up next is an electronic dab device, whether this be a Puffco Pivot, Peak, a Dr. Dabber. There's so many different options to choose from out there, and I personally think that these are really, really cool. They're amazing for people that are just getting into dabbing, so they don't have to buy all the equipment. As well as that, they're super duper beginner friendly. The only thing you need to do with this device is power it on, drop in your product and heat it up. That's it, and you're away. The portability of these as well is really nice. Because you're not carrying flour and you're more going to be carrying extracts when using this, there's no smell. You can put this literally in your pocket and carry it around. Not that I'd recommend doing so. I always carry mine in a little carrier bag or, a rucksack. But I do think that these are really, really cool and sort of the first big step into the future of smoking. And because of that, I'm also going to put it at an S tier. Up next, we have a traditional dab rig. Now, I've got one of these in my cabinet over there, and I love it to bits. I've not had a massive experience using a variety of different dab rigs. I'm the first person out of my friendship group to kind of get into dabbing, and I've introduced it to everyone else as well. So it's only been my rigs that I've been using. But from the ones I have used, they're really, really sick. I love the look of a really nice glass piece, especially with all these cool, heady glass makers out there that make all these complex, intricate designs. I think they look absolutely cool and definitely one of the better ways to get high, in my opinion. Because of that, it's going to go in A tier. The only downside to it is there's quite a bit of prep work. You've got to have a jet lighter, a temperature gun, you've got to let it cool down, and there's quite a risk of charring it as well. Just from my experience, I've had one too many bangers get charred or get burnt on, even though I'm using the right temperature. They can be a bit of a ball ache to clean, but if you've got a really nice piece of glass that hits super duper nicely, you can't go wrong. Moving on to a pipe. I've only tried a pipe a handful of times, and I'm not the biggest fan. I feel like there's not enough room for that smoke to cool down, so a lot of the time you are just inhaling that hot smoke, and it can lose quite a bit of its flavour, I feel. While they do look super duper cool as a glass piece, I just don't see myself personally using them in my day-to-day life. And because of that, I'm going to put these at... Ooh. I'm going to put this at a C tier. It would definitely get the job done, but there's much better ways to be smoking. Now we've got something that I did a video on not too long ago, and it's a gravity bong, or a glebe, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to class all sort of gravity devices under this one category, whether it be an actual gravity bong, a glebe, or, one of these bottle bongs. Now let me tell you this from experience. These things get you wrecked. In my video that I did, I took one hit off this gravity bong, and oh my god, I was finished off for the rest of the night. I think these are a super duper cool way to smoke, and sort of like a little party trick to bring out, You bring out a big bottle, a big 2 litre bottle, a bucket, you get the whole party fried, and it doesn't use a lot of weed either. Probably just the same amount that you'd put in a normal bong. Because of that, I'm going to put these at a B tier. The only reason it's not higher is because you've got to obviously make the gravity bong if you've not got a purchase one from online or a head shop, like an actual glebe or an actual device. But I still think these are a really, really cool way to get high, which is why it's going to a B tier. Moving on to joints now. I love a good joint. There's nothing I love more than the process of rolling up a joint, sitting down, smoking a joint, seeing how clean it's burning, seeing that oil ring form. I think it's a super therapeutic thing as well, going through that process. I've not really got a lot to say about joints, I just love them so much, and because of that, they're going straight to S tier. This is another piece that I've got in my cabinet over there, and it's a bong. Now, if you know me, I love my bongs. All different types. Big, small, intricate, simple. If there's a cool bong at the sesh, you know I'm hitting it. It's also one of the cleanest ways that you can smoke, because there's no papers needed, there's no filters, it's literally just green and glass. And because you won't get no residue or anything coming off the glass when you're lighting your bowl, I definitely think this is also another great way to get high. Would I put it at A tier or S tier? I think for the pure fact that a big bong hit will get you absolutely schmacked, it's also going to go at S tier. Coming over to the penultimate way to consume, we have carts. Carts, vapes, disposables, pens, whatever you want to call them, they're all classed into this one category. Now for me, I'm not a massive cart enjoyer. I much prefer to be smoking something, whether it be weed, extract, hash, rather than just oils and vaping distillate. I much prefer to see what I'm smoking as well, just like rolling up a blunt or packing a bowl. You get to see, smell, look at what you're smoking. And in the UK, a lot of these carts that you get, they're the shittest of shit. And a lot of them are probably spice as well, which is why I personally stay well away. I just don't want to take the risk of buying a cart, even if it's from like a reputable person, just for it to be either mids or spice. And because of that, I'm going to put carts in D tier. Finally, we've got something that I've only ever tried once, and that's a THC infused drink. Now, I tried this at Sky High's pop-up event that I posted a video on a few months back, and it wasn't this particular can, but what they did is they made their own drink out of what was it? They made their own drink out of some THC infused honey, I believe it was. So they had different tea flavours that you could pick from, and they would just grab a glob of some honey, pop it in, and mix it in with the tea. And they were giving out these things completely free as well. That's why I love going to these events so much, because it's all about the community, sharing your things with other people, getting to try new experiences as well. At this event was the first time I ever had a THC infused drink, and it was okay. I didn't have a massive amount, and I was smoking along with it, so I didn't really get the chance to feel the effects. I think for those people who can't smoke, this is a super cool option. The fact that you can just sit down, have a drink, and get high, I think that's pretty cool. But would I personally use it on my day to day? Not really. As I said, only at these special occasions like events, or if you're doing a big session, would you want one of these to sort of keep you going throughout? And because of that, I'm going to place it at a C tier. So there is my ways to consume tier list. You see we've got a nice selection and a good variety throughout. These 4 have definitely got to be my favourite ways to consume. As I said at the beginning of this video, I'll try to put a link for this in the description so you can go and make your own selections and tag me on Instagram or Twitter. Other than that, if you've enjoyed this style of content and you want to see more like this, I'd appreciate a like and subscribe, and I hope to catch you all in the next one. Take care.